Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here, and welcome to B-Ball Breakdown. Don't forget to vote for me and my team, Team B-Ball Breakdown, in the tournament. A single elimination 5-on-5 $1 million prize, the finals on ESPN. And we're going to film everything, so you're going to be able to see all this information that we've been conveying to you. I'm going to be using it in real on the court with players in the huddles, and we'll film everything. So head over there and give us a vote. Well, now let's talk about Tony Allen, because there certainly isn't too many other players that I've shown how poor they are offensively with their ball handling skills, and that includes shooting and passing. It's really frustrating to watch because when I feel at the time you get to the NBA there should be improvement, and we really haven't seen that from him. However, he is really good on defense. He gives out all he possibly can, but there are issues that sort of make him not as good of a defender as a lot of people think. He's got a certain area where he's really good at, but a lot of other defensive problems, and I'm going to show you that based on Game 2, where he was a self-proclaimed first team all-defense. Let's start out early in the first quarter. In transition, he's forced to pick up Steph Curry, one of the more dangerous transition players in the NBA. A little inside-out move gets him backpedaling for space, and a three in his face. While it looks like he contests, this is an open look for Curry. I like his effort to chase Klay out to the top, but he goes underneath the ball screen twice, jumps way out of position on the pass fake, but fantastic effort to make up for all that energy he could have saved by getting the steal. Here's a good bump down on the roll man, chase, switches perfectly, then fights down low with David Lee to keep him away from the rebound. Tony Allen isn't great with court awareness, and he doesn't realize his man Klay Thompson is setting a screen on teammate Mike Conley. That said, this is Conley's big mistake for trying to go under the screen. Allen wasn't in position to help him out though, and Curry gets another three. I've got no problem with the defender being physical, but he rides that line a little too often, this time getting handsy, and then not having enough balance to avoid stepping out on top of Klay Thompson. On this weak side pin down, he goes on the wrong side of the screen. His hustle takes away the outside shot, but his poor closeout allows penetration, which gets them free throws. Allen also doesn't understand why it's a bad idea to help one pass away off of Iguodala, but in this case, the added pressure helps Beno get this steal. However, there's this finish at the rim, the kind of thing that drives me crazy. He also gets caught on wild flailings of his arms and legs, leading to fouls and free throws. Here's nice pressure on the pin down, forcing Klay into an awkward passing position. This directly leads to the Kufo steal. Allen and Gasol switch without giving up anything, but then he helps one pass away. Many teams coach to leave your feet and run the shooter off the three-point line, but they have to get back in the play immediately. Allen never reappears, but the Warriors get a 3-second call. A common thing for Tony is that he'll lose his man while on the weak side. In this instance, no harm, no foul. I like this little bit of backcourt pressure. It seemed to do just enough to get the Warriors off their rhythm, since Steph Curry and Klay Thompson combined for a meager 3 for 17 from three-point land. Here's a good example of chasing Klay over the top of the screen. Good stuff, which forces him into a one-footed three-pointer. But he starts to cherry-pick down court. Bogut gets the offensive rebound, and in his hurry to get back, he takes a terrible angle and allows the wide-open dunk. Somehow, Klay misses this through no help of Allen. Allen also gets caught being undisciplined here, helping one pass away off of Klay Thompson in the corner. He lucks out with the miss. On the next play, he goes underneath the screen on Steph Curry, another great look that Curry usually knocks down. Again, he helps one pass away off Klay Thompson in the corner. This was the wrong rotation altogether. It should be Gasol steps up and Randolph sinks and fills. This is another great look for Klay, who again can't hit it as Courtney Lee tries to get a hand up. And he basically helps one pass away again off Klay in the corner, but this is perfect weak side rotation as Courtney Lee sinks and fills for the awesome steal. At the end of the half, he tries to go underneath this pin down, which at the very least is supposed to stop penetration. However, he allows Klay into the lane and gets away with an old veteran's trick push in the back. On this dish to Bogut, he might be a split second late rotating over, but this big swipe move gets him a block and no whistle, but Bogut puts it right back. As Klay comes into the picture, Allen loses him and is lucky Draymond doesn't fire a pass to the corner for an open three. He does straighten up and start to walk, giving Klay an opening, but his teammates contain nicely and force a travel. Here's a good chase of Klay, and when Curry forgets to set the screen, it allows him to keep the pressure on the ball until Gasol tips it and corrals it for the steal. The Warriors definitely want to swing the ball to the right wing to Klay. Great denial to blow this up, and this sequence leads to another Gasol deflection and steal. Out of motion weak, Allen gets appropriately handsy before a great pursuit around the flex screen. Klay is forced to pass off when there is no daylight, and Barnes takes lead down low in the post. Here's the big highlight of the night from Allen, a falling down lunging steal of Klay in the open court. This is a great example of him sacrificing his body, but also how he's willing to gamble to the extreme to go after that ball, unlike most other NBA players. It is a bit risky, he could get hurt doing this, and there was probably enough contact to merit a foul, but it got me to applaud.
First team all defense. First team all defense. First team all defense.
This time, Allen doesn't help one pass away off Klay in the corner, and since there was no whistle, it was a great contest. That said, it was surprising, especially in Oakland, that he wasn't called for anything on this. More great pursuit around the pin down for Steph Curry, keeping contact with him and preventing the curl. As he forces the Warriors into the secondary options, this leads to a steal for Zebo. However, on their way back down court, this is what drives me bat guano insane. And his inability to finish easy shots at the rim are also cringeworthy, but this breakdown isn't about offense. On this possession, he kind of zones it while guarding Livingston, which allows him to be in great position to help. He switches on to Draymond, does a pretty bad job at closing out, and this directly leads to free throws. After Steph flares and gets separation, he gets beat badly on the closeout and has to foul. This is probably the hardest closeout of anybody in the NBA, so Allen is certainly not alone in getting beat. Here's great instinct in reaction to a bad flat pass by Curry, which gets him a pick six, and a reminder from him to the announcers.
First team all defense.
Here's another example of Tony losing Klay along the perimeter. He really doesn't know where Klay is, but he should be thanking Jeff Green for reading this perfectly and nabbing that ball out of the air. Deep in the fourth, he jumps around the double weak side screen for Steph and somehow, improbably, gets his hand in Curry's face without actually touching him. This was impressive. Perhaps he was tired from playing almost the whole second half, but this reach around attempt at a steal was terrible. Again, he half sleeps on Klay Thompson, giving him an opening, but tremendous recovery, and with the help of Marc Gasol, forces a miss. On this play, Allen ends up in the lane guarding absolutely no one. He's lucky he wasn't whistled for an illegal defense, which would have been a disaster for the Grizzlies, and it leads to a wide open three for Barnes, who can't hit. Again, I'm sure he's exhausted when he's closing out. He gives Klay a step and then can't get back in front as Thompson executes a good up and under. Same play going the other way, he goes for the shot fake and allows Klay right into the lane, and they get free throws. Hopefully the Grizzlies fans won't take me to task too hard on this one because, again, I should love Tony Allen because he does give his all on every play, but a lot of times the energy is misguided, and I feel like that's one of the issues that he could improve on, and as well as his shooting and his ball handling, but he doesn't do it for some reason. There isn't any progression there, so I think we're going to have to settle for a guy who leaves it all on the court, which I should like, but without any kind of progression of doing it a little bit better, and a little bit more efficiently. Well, thanks for joining us. Don't forget to give us a vote for the tournament, and also at BBallBreakdown, we're not a channel, we're a conversation. You in?